Okay, so next we have Lee Robinson. Yes. Is it for Janna? Thank you. And we might be able to ask some questions that we didn't get done last time. Maybe it might not even be the same.
That's fine. Your Worship, look, I'm standing in for two people today, unfortunately through late unavailability.
That's right. That's
and
fine.
mine on behalf of myself and the other two will be high level, and Suki and Brent have just come in. We'll speak more to the detail towards the end of the day. But look, and we've talked about this, but we've been involved in this wastewater proposal since 2015-16 and some longer than that. And we're looking here in a tight fiscal environment of a proposal for $107 million, of which about 14 has already been spent, admittedly some on land that could be recoverable, in a system that its objective was to take from the harbour treated wastewater. And if you look at the Becker report from 8th of April, that's recently been put on the table, those objectives are not going to be achieved. We're going to have 1 year and 3 likely wastewater having to be released into the harbour, 1 year and 5 of raw sewage being released into the harbour. And we hear in the last few days that not only are we trying to store all this wastewater in Robinson's Bay, and the system, as per Becker's report, cannot cope with it, we're now going to get devotionals as well. So we just wonder where this application is going. We seem to think that there was a bright idea to put a land-based system in the harbour that's going to be a founding model for other areas. It's just got worse, and we've been saying for years and years this won't work with the current infrastructure that's proposed. We go back to the original premise. 69% of the water that's been treated or proposed to be treated in the system is stormwater and fresh water. Nothing of any significance has been done to fix the pipes where that infiltration comes from. Why are we spending $107 million to fix over now 50% of water that doesn't need to be treated? This whole thing needs to go back to the drawing board. We've talked about that. It's not going to work. It's going to make it worse. The cultural objections that have been raised by Maori are not going to be achieved. I believe, one, the council needs to stop the process. Number two, it needs to consider getting rid of the water that doesn't need to be treated out of the system if you're going to go into a land-based system. Or thirdly, put a pipe further out to the harbour heads and take it out there, because it's not going to work and you're going to spend $107 million finding out.
Mm-hmm. Okay, questions. Sarah, please.
Thanks so much for that. I remember the whole process really well. So the panel and then council passed a resolution for council actually to do work on the infiltration of water into the network. Has that work not been happening?
Some work was happening. The council resolved, as I understand it, and Suki and Brett can talk about this, to reduce it to 20%.
Yeah.
It's been reduced by 20% as we understand it. That's as far as it's got, and it's got no further. So, as I said earlier, we think it's still about 50% at the least of what has been proposed to be treated is stormwater and wastewater.
Yeah.
But
Okay,
Suki and Brett
thanks.
can
Yeah, thanks.
Thank you. Good. I'll look forward to the next submission. See you soon. Oh, sorry, Pauline's got a question. Yeah.
Just quickly, Lee, nice to see you. We're actually bound by that resource consent, aren't we? Operating on an extension. And what would be the likelihood of getting a further extension on that, in your view?
Look, I don't know. That would be up to the Environment Court, and it looks at the progress that's been taken and what circumstances exist in relation to that progress.
Thank you.
Wonderful. Thank you. Okay. Thank you, Lee. Bill and Islay, please.